All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again due to popular demand, and we have got this time the WWF magazine from May of 1999. Ryan, we've got Big Show on the cover here. What do you remember about May of 99 and the Big Show?
I remember almost nothing. I was posing the question before you turned the camera on. What in the world was Big Show doing in May of 99? And I'm hoping to find out in this magazine.
Well, he's got an angry look here, and it says "Fate in his hands."
I will say this: nice teeth on the Big Show.
And when we open this, what do we find? We find that he's touching a picture of Steve Austin.
Oh yeah. Well,
wait a minute. What happens when we fold this back? Oh, it's an advertisement for a video game called Contender.
I thought it was going to be related.
I thought so too. But this is May of 99. You got to figure the Big Show debuted in February of this year at the Valentine Day Massacre.
Right.
So he's
and he came after Austin.
He did, but he was this was kind of during a period where he was floundering a little bit. Not too long after this, he's teaming with the Undertaker, and there's not a clear direction, but maybe that's what is addressed here.
Wait, is that when the Undertaker took him out into the desert and left him with a motorcycle?
And he took him to the learning tree, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he came out of the desert. Undertaker said that the Big Show came out of the desert with a motorcycle on his back and a snakeskin tie, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we were just talking about this. Here's an advertisement for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And what do you remember about that show?
I remember that Big Show, I guess, had to hide under the ring the entire night.
I think he did. He had to urinate under the ring.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was the only one, right? Was there ever? There was never another one, right?
No, unless that falls on Valentine's Day. It's kind of a silly name.
Oh yeah, maybe they should do that though every year. If it felt like a Sunday was on Valentine's Day,
It's very odd when that happens.
like a leap year type of wrestling pay-per-view.
I'm not too crazy about that idea. This one says Federation Chairman, The Undertaker. There's a question mark at the end of it.
This was one of the few Undertakers that I was actually a fan of. The Ministry Undertaker was my second favorite Undertaker of all time.
How about this Paul Bearer? Where does that Paul Bearer rank as one of your favorites?
That Paul Bearer ranks pretty low.
Really?
I did like. I think back in the old days of Undertaker, I liked Paul Bearer more than the Undertaker.
Here's an advertisement talking about a Stone Cold tribute magazine. Stone Cold Red Hot in May of 99.
He was red hot with me before that.
Now this says, has success gone to Sable's head? You have to imagine around this time Sable is posing for Playboy. Maybe she's not around much longer after this.
Who wrote this? Mark Marrow?
He probably felt like fame had gone to her head, I would imagine.
I would say.
But he was very, from what I hear, he was very supportive of his wife.
That's really nice. What happened to their marriage?
Here we have the quote of the month from the Rock, and it says, "Well, since Rock's baby left him, he's found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Jabroni Drive at the SmackDown Hotel." That was when he was throwing Mick Foley Mankind around.
That is a great quote. I always remember that. That's very catchy. Do you think The Rock wrote that, or do you think someone wrote that for him? Because that's very clever. I was just wondering your opinion.
Well,
on that. Have you ever heard?
he's playing off the lyrics of Heartbreak Hotel, which is a famous Elvis Presley
but still,
song.
I think that the Jabroni Drive SmackDown Hotel thing, I think is very clever. I just wonder if he came up with that, or if someone wrote it for him.
You can just kind of throw those catchphrases into a song that's already been written by Elvis.
So you're saying it's not that clever?
Well, since Rock's baby left him, he's found a new place to... No, because in that sentence, the only thing that's different is The Rock. It's not,
what about Jabroni Drive at the SmackDown Hotel? That's
you take
good.
Heartbreak Hotel and change SmackDown Hotel. It's not that clever.
Rock, if you wrote it, I'm impressed.
One of my favorites from that match is when he hits Mankind with the bell, and he says, "Bells will be
ringing." I love that.
That's very memorable.
Rock was excellent. I think
Rookies to Legends, Viscera. What do you think of that?
I'm having a hard time checking Viscera out.
That's a great look.
I'm checking out this GTA London game here.
Well, hold on a second. This is a great look here.
I'm skipping ahead.
He looks, I would say, as far as Viscera, Mabel, his different incarnations, he looks like $1 million here.
I like King Mabel. I like King Mabel. SummerSlam '95 with Diesel.
As far as a look goes, you like that look?
Yeah, King Mabel's. I like Mabel more than Viscera.
I'm talking about more of like a look. He's got the sunglasses and the coat. No.
Yeah,
right.
no, I'm not buying
Now,
it.
Ryan, you're an avid gamer. Here we go. This is what began the whole Grand Theft Auto series.
And I love this game. I remember when my son was a baby, and now he's all grown up. But when he was a baby, I would hold him in my arms and play GTA on the original PlayStation. Look, there it is. The original PlayStation.
And where do you keep your Father of the Year trophy?
I was holding my baby, wasn't I?
Now, here we have, this is written by Vince Russo.
Playing the
market. Now, this is kind of playing off of the stock market here. We have the different abbreviations. This is obviously The Rock and Mankind and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I guess they're saying who has the brightest future. Steve Austin's 316, obviously playing off his...
Who is MRA?
Where do you see MRA?
Oh, is that Mr. Ass?
I would say that is, yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed that. D'Lo Brown's is pretty low.
Jeff Jarrett's very low. Is he 21?
Yeah. What's TST? Oh, Test. I love Toast. I can't think of a guy named Toast.
Advertisements for Backlash
Whoa,
on WWF.com.
Smashing mini magazines. Who would buy a mini magazine with X-Pac on it?
Here we have,
Speaking of X-Pac.
is corporate China breakable? Now this is 2 pictures of China. One, she's got a press-on suit. I guess maybe they're saying...
It's by Laura.
What is the future of China at this point? Is she going to be with the corporation? The corporation is big around this time. Where do her allegiances lie? To Degeneration X? To the corporation? What's going to happen? These are the questions that are being...
I think by now we know what happened.
That are being pondered here. You can see some of the problems she's got here. She's broken the heart of Triple H here. You can tell by his look. You can't believe it. Here's the corporation test. Ken Shamrock, great
body slamming X-Pac.
Great group here. Yeah,
that's not hard to do.
She looks nice in that picture there. Looks good. She had a lot of surgery around this time. You have to.
Yeah, you've said there was a time where she looked good. You got to show me the picture.
This is the Squared Circle Club for the. Did you ever have? I thought I remember hearing that your family had some WWF checks around.
You
this
want to
time.
talk about looking good? Look at Shawn Michaels right there. Shawn Michaels was looking good in the '90s.
Am I wrong or am I right when I say that your family had either some checks or a credit card?
My mother had a credit card that said WCW/NWO, and it had Hollywood Hogan on it.
Really?
Yep.
Was she a Hollywood Hogan fan?
I think she knew I was a wrestling fan and that she did that for me.
But you weren't using the credit card, so...
No, that would have been even nicer. That would have been even more generous.
So who was she doing that for, I guess is my point.
A lot of that went on in my house. A lot of questions. Well, she told me she was going to take me to Victoria, Texas, and that never happened.
To see the birthplace of Stone Cold.
That's right.
America's Most Wanted. Now this is around the time that X-Pac, not Triple H, X-Pac and Shane McMahon are having an issue. They had a match at this year's WrestleMania.
Oh crap, that is Shane McMahon. I thought that was John Cusack.
I don't remember X-Pac and John Cusack having too many issues around.
Well, I was getting excited to read the story. We were going to sit here and read about that one.
Do you what do you remember around this time of Shane McMahon and X-Pac? They had some matches, and the Mean Street Posse was introduced.
That's a good matchup. That's a good, as far as size-wise goes, I think. And annoying, and being obnoxious. I think they're both really obnoxious.
And to this day, Shane McMahon is still having WrestleMania matches with obnoxious guys.
I think that's very true. I think Shane McMahon was pretending to be more obnoxious than X-Pac is obnoxious.
You're saying X-Pac is...
Not a person I would want to spend any time with.
In real life, he's obnoxious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Shane McMahon's pretending to be obnoxious.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying Shane McMahon's probably all right.
Well, he's got a shirt here that says X-Punk.
Yeah. I'm buying that.
Yeah. Now this is for the cars and the collectibles here. The Eye of the Ministry. What Midian sees that you don't. This is around the time that Midian was taken out of the world of Southern Justice.
Right.
And became Midian.
Yeah.
What does he see that you don't?
By Kevin Kelly. Remember Kevin Kelly? He was on TV a lot.
He's still a big part of Ring of Honor.
Oh, is he? I don't know about Ring of Honor. Do they have a magazine?
I don't think too many people have magazines anymore.
All right.
Now, what do you? What stands out here? I noticed that Midian seems to have a tattoo of Dan Severn. But other than that, what about what is he? Obviously, that's Doc Holliday, not Dan Severn. But what do you see here that stands out to you about his favorite things?
Well, the first thing is that his favorite food is sacrificial lamb, and I feel like that's kind of him in the character right here. But his favorite cartoon character is Homer Simpson, so I feel like by the time he got to the end of it, he just stopped, he broke character and just became himself.
Do you think Midian really sat down and filled this out, or did someone fill this out for him?
I think that the character did. I would think that the character did. Favorite actor is Doug Bradley from
Right, but then we get into favorite television show, The Simpsons. Like, it's not quite, adding up.
Secret talent, making the Undertaker laugh.
See, well, he's in character there a little bit. There's a picture of Midian.
Is he
Gangrel.
hanging Gangrel? Is that a lynching?
Now here we have an advertisement for Shotgun Saturday Night with Val Venus, cocked, locked, and ready to unload. When you think of Shotgun Saturday Night, what comes to mind?
The way I think of it is like the first month of it was like really chaotic, almost like it was supposed to be like an ECW in its heyday type of show.
It was like a hip show from like a nightclub.
Yeah,
And then it kind of just became like a clip show after that. After
right.
a
They
while.
could. I don't think they could keep it up.
Man, it's kind of tough. It's a good idea though.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
I like Val Venus right there. Val Venus was good for a lot of stuff there in that time period.
He's got a great expression there. It looks like he's up to no good or something.
Yeah, I think that Val Venus in that time period has more going on than, even though he wasn't in the main event picture, than anyone today.
If you saw that expression of somebody talking to you, what would you think they were up to?
I would lock up my wife faster than Randy Savage if I seen that face on a man.
Val and Billy, the ultimate degenerates. You know, you were just talking about Val Venus. Here he is. Billy Gunn showing no respect to Deborah there. Deborah's got her shirt open.
Yeah, you always show respect to a woman that's in a bra in public.
Now here is Billy Gunn. Look, he's removing his trunks.
Well, he's the ass. He's the ass man.
Now
He's doing his job.
Here's Val Venus with Ken Shamrock's sister Ryan. Now your first name is
I
Ryan.
was a big fan of hers because she had my name and my heart back in those days. Very pretty girl. And then them two being brother and sister, they actually got together, didn't they?
That was a rumor I heard. They were
Yeah.
an item for a while. Now here we go.
Oh, this is a sad story.
Bad boy, the real world draws. Yeah, this is draws around this time, May of '99. He probably had his last match at the end of later part of this year, so just a couple months from now.
Picked up an injury.
Yeah, very sad story.
Something I don't remember. Is he alive still?
Yes.
That's good that he's still alive.
Well, here we are. This guy was on the cover. Big Show. Corporate loyalty or nightmare.
What do you think? Let me get your opinion on this one.
Well,
I mean,
well-
you've been the biggest Big Show fan.
I have not been too much of a Big Show fan, but take a
Oh, I have
look
that
there.
wrong.
He looks like he's got ulterior motives there. What do you think? How do you read that?
I have one question for you. What do you feed an angry Paul White? Maybe the sacrificial lamb. Look at that. Little sweet chin music. What athleticism.
This was something that was kind of big in the late 90s. Was this T-shirt that was cut off of all the sleeves, and it was just a piece of fabric that hung over you. The first person I ever saw do that was Mike Tyson.
Okay.
And then that kind of became a thing around this time. NWO did it, and there you see Big Show do it. I think it looks a little silly.
And you're seeing it here. Yeah, I agree. But you're seeing it here. It really looks silly on Big Show because Big Show would hang around with like kind of cool people and try to do what they did. But I never found Big Show to be a cool guy.
Well, also, too, just the plain shirt with nothing on it.
Yeah.
That really
And then he
looks
does
odd.
the sweet chin music and it hangs off of him like it's like a napkin out of his tuxedo.
Not the coolest look in the world.
No.
Now here's the recap of St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Blue Dust.
It was the Blue Meanie against Gold Dust. It's an incarnation of Blue Dust.
I didn't even remember that.
I'm not surprised. Do you remember this hardcore match with Bob Holly and Al Snow that went into the river?
Now that's hard
was-
to forget. That was a good one.
Very memorable.
That was a dandy. Now this, I guess, was Corporation versus Ministry. Midian and Boss Man.
Imagine, yeah, they were having some problems there. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart against Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown. Yeah, you probably don't remember too much from this show, I'm guessing.
I don't. I think Ken Shamrock and Val Venus was fun because Val Venus seems like someone that would be able to make Ken Shamrock very angry. So I bet that build-up was pretty good.
Well, as you saw in that picture, he was pelvic thrusting in front of his sister.
And it looks like here he's walking out with the belt and the lady.
Can you imagine what Ken Shamrock was thinking? He was all
Now, which night do you think that Ken Shamrock was angrier? This night or the night that Horace Gracie beat him on that Bellator show by low blow?
It probably kept building up.
It all goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
You run out of room after a while. Triple H and X-Pac versus Kane in China. Does that sound like a fun match to you?
No, I almost fell asleep. You just talking about it.
Last man standing match, Mankind versus The Rock.
I never liked last man standing matches.
I'm going to agree with you. They're not a favorite of mine. And this was during a time when The Rock and Mankind had about a match. Like, it seemed like they had a match every night.
Oh yeah.
There was like a 5-month span where they were always having
and there
matches.
the title was changing hands back and forth a lot.
It was, and you consider the month before this was that famous Royal Rumble match with
the I Quit.
The I Quit match, which was,
and that was hard to beat with all those chair shots that
very
Mick Foley
brutal,
took.
very brutal match. And then of course the cage match with Austin and Vince McMahon. Here we see that's a great picture there. The Big Show coming up through the ring, peering over at Steve Austin.
I think this was a big coup, even though it was Big Show. No wait, hold on just a second. I think this is a.
You're not going to take that? Might have been the Big Show wanting to give us an exclusive interview.
I'm going to let this one go this time. All right. Now, I never learned my lesson.
I wish you let it go last time.
Now,
you were saying
I had this great point. You know, this is a big coup for WWE, even though it was Big Show. Still WCW had been taking all their guys, getting a little momentum back, starting to win the ratings. Now they're taking a big name from WCW and bringing him in.
But a big name that really, what can you do with?
Well, yeah.
I'm not a big fan in wrestling of people like the Big Show.
20 years with them.
Nah, but I'll tell you this. I'm not a big fan of people like the Big Show because what do you do with them?
He's big.
You either have to have them beat everybody. They either have to be they have to be the champion or nothing, basically. What do you do with them?
It's difficult.
Yeah. You sure you don't want to take that phone call? It would you still got time.
No, we can wrap this up.
You gotta make that phone call. Now this is an advertisement here for WWF The Music 3. Do you remember having that one? I think you probably drove down the road.
3, I'd say I definitely had that one with the DX song on it and the New Age Outlaw song.
And Stone Cold.
And Stone Cold. Now, and that's not You Are Completely Pathetic, though.
And Gangrel, which was a great song.
Yeah, I think that's that
but number 2 was the one that had the You Are Completely Pathetic.
2 was my favorite one.
Why is that?
Because it had You Are Completely Pathetic on it.
Now here we see some pictures of Ken Shamrock and The Rock on the set of that 70s show.
Wow, how about that? And the Iron Sheik and Mick Foley.
Maybe, can we say maybe...
Oh, wait, they're not on the set.
Maybe, maybe The Rock's first big notable acting role that he's certainly gone on to lots of.
It must have went well.
It must have.
By the way, can I just state that I never liked that show, but I think this guy is hilarious.
He was the lead villain in RoboCop.
Oh, was he really?
Yes.
I might check that RoboCop out sometime. I've never seen the original RoboCop.
If you like him, you'll like that.
Nice.
And here we have some questions. Pin them down. Ryan, I'm going to ask you this question, and you have to answer it. This is to B.A. Billy Gunn.
All right.
And you have to answer this like Billy Gunn would answer it.
All right.
Will you and Road Dogg ever go after the tag team titles again?
Go after the tag team titles. We're still the tag team champions. No one ever beat us for those belts. And I'm going to continue to be an ass man and a champion.
It's pretty close to what he wrote here. He says that they were cheated out of their tag titles. So, I mean, you're right on the same wavelength. You and Billy Gunn would probably get along pretty well.
I think we'd be all right.
Now, here is an advertisement for a game called WWF Attitude. There were 2 games around this time, Attitude and Warzone. They were very similar. Do you remember playing either one of those?
They were both god awful.
They weren't that great.
I did not enjoy them.
Great.
I think I'm going to say Warzone was a little bit more fun.
That's the way I remember it. Yeah. Now, this says PlayStation, Game Boy Color, and Nintendo 64.
I believe I had Attitude for Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And I think I had Warzone for PlayStation. I think you had Warzone for PlayStation.
I did. And never seen advertisement for Coca-Cola. Probably a big deal for Coca-Cola to be associated with the World
Is that the
Wrestling
Ultimate Warrior?
Federation. Well, Ryan, May of 1999, what a time. Where do you rank this time, and where do you rank this issue?
I think 99 is one of my favorite years in wrestling history. I had a lot of fun in 99.
Because of this man right here?
I guess he was a part of it, so I guess so. But mostly Steve Austin. I really like Steve Austin. You said 98's a better year. You're probably right. I think, you know what it is? Do you know what it is? We talked about it before. I said 99's better. You said 98 was better, if I remember right. But you know what I'm thinking of? I think I like Steve Austin even more in 99, and that was the biggest part of the wrestling program for me was Steve Austin.
What did you like in 99 that he was doing?
I think whatever, I just remember being a bigger fan and just really caring about it more in 99.
Is there a reason for that?
He was hot. He was red hot.
From a physical standpoint, I mean...
Oh no, well that was the I liked him the best in the gimmick haircut days. 94 Steve Austin was my favorite.
Well, friends, there we go. May of 1999. Ryan, take us out of here.
Alright, you guys, come back and check us out next time when we're reading old wrestling magazines.